Yeah, Sony State of Play, which was yesterday.
I think it was the day before, March 9th. We're on the 11th.
Was it the day before? Oh yeah, March 9th. Oh, dude.
As I said, I'm all about not spreading misinformation, man.
Time.
I'm gonna get on you.
When you're a content creator and working full time just flies by.
I create my own content, so I'm just saying.
But yeah, so this happened, and I figured, hey, we'll go through. It will just kind of give our thoughts and opinions on kind of each thing that happened. I will say a little side topic that I would like to bring up, side subject, is a lot of people, there's a lot of discourse going on right now about the constant disappointment whenever an event like this happens. And I felt like that would be an interesting kind of subject to bring up to you about expectations whenever these little tiny events come out, because I feel like companies like Sony and Nintendo, they generally, when they announce these things, they generally have like a disclaimer saying what's to be expected, what is going to be in these events. And like, I swear the discourse on Twitter and other places for this event before it happened was like, yo, freaking Konami, Silent Hill. Yeah, Silent Hill is getting announced. Sony just bought Konami, you know what I mean? It's like...
Well, you're always going to have, the people who are, whatchamacallit, spreading some false news and whatnot, out of false leaks and all that.
There's so much excitement for an event where Sony came out and said, we're just talking about Japanese-made games. Like
people just always still have in their mind that whenever you get news from a publisher or some kind of platform like this, they're looking for this E3 scale event. But I think people are maybe not realizing or haven't been paying attention over the past, year and a half, 2 years.
E3 hasn't happened.
Well, it's not just about that, but companies have changed. Even when E3 was a thing, like, they realized, okay, the internet is a platform where we can just put out information whenever we want. We don't need a big stage.
You don't
we
need
don't
a medium.
need to wait till the summer. Like, I think people feel like, okay, so they're doing the State of Play, which, to be fair, that sounds like a big, important name, right? The State of Play kind of address kind of deal. But really, it's just a little mini advertisement for stuff that's about to come up for Sony. That doesn't mean you're not going to see information about God of War or maybe a Silent Hill or something like that, but they can drop that information whenever they want. Like, this State of Play, they announced like 2 days before they actually were going to do it, so they didn't even try to hype it up. They're like, okay, get ready, we're going to give you some announcements, and bam, there it is. Nintendo did the same thing a few weeks ago. Like, they all know that they can just drop information whenever they want. So people need to definitely gauge their expectations down several notches, maybe like 100 notches, I don't know. Not every one of these videos is going to be E3 level major announcement kind of stuff. So
I just found... No, go ahead. Sorry, finish up.
No, that's it. That's all I was going to say.
Oh, I was just going to switch over. I just found this little thing here underneath the video that I was going to bring up. But let's see. It says, note, we won't have any updates on PlayStation VR titles or hardware in this broadcast. The show is around 20 minutes, give or take, with the focus of highlighting games from beloved Japanese publishers, though we will have a few updates from devs around the world. So clearly within this description of this video, they're already setting expectations.
People love to read into things, and there are those exceptions, like where they have little Easter eggs, and they do have big announcements out of nowhere. That's what people like. That's what the gaming community wants. They thrive on those moments, and don't be wrong, those are cool community moments. But to expect those to be in every little tiny update video that's posted by Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony just isn't really reasonable.
All right, so
go ahead.
Yep, let's go ahead and start. So this first game, I remember seeing, it's called
Dino Crisis 2022.
That's what a lot of people were expecting. They were expecting some sort of Dino Crisis game, and it ended up being called, what is this, Exoprimal, which it looks kind of weird.
I'm digging it, man.
You watched the event? I didn't even know if you watched it or not.
I skimmed through it. I didn't watch it live, but I've gone back and I've watched all the trailers and everything.
So yeah, this one looks weird.
It's silly looking, man, but a lot of people are comparing it to Earth Defense Force. Have you ever played that?
I've heard of the games.
It's basically Starship Troopers, like just hordes of crazy giant insects from space that you're taking out. And it's just a little mindless and a little goofy, and it's kind of awesome. So
this lady right here ticked people off, apparently, because
She looks like the
she
Dino
looks like the
Crisis.
Dino Crisis lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks kind of weird though, like dinosaurs just kind of popping in through some black hole or something, and there's just like constant wave. It looks almost like a futuristic Dynasty Warriors game, just with dinosaurs. I guess.
I mean, I am gonna have to reserve judgment until I play it. It could be terrible. It kind of reminds me of like those old kind of like B, C tier games like the 360 PS3 days. You're like a PS2 kind of game. Like it's not one of those major big releases, but it's one of those fun games that you'll get together with buddies and just, let's go blow up some crazy dinosaurs for a while. And I don't know. Games don't have to always be these huge, giant, epic things. Just they got to be fun. I think that's one thing that I find with a lot of games is they try to be more than what they really need to be. Like, I just want to play a game for a few hours, enjoy whatever gameplay loop they've got, and then move on. Now I know when a game's $60, $70, it's harder to make that argument, but who knows? Maybe this game will be like a $40 budget title. Not that I'm holding my breath, but hey, that'd be cool.
I don't know if Sony's been known to do that.
Jumping ahead, one of the games at the very end is technically $40, and that surprised a lot of people. So
is it really? Oh,
yeah. We can talk about it in a minute though.
Yeah. So I guess there's Exoprimal. Let's move on to the second one. Let's see. So we got an update on Ghostwire Tokyo. I've seen that this game has been shown a lot. So I mean, I guess this is just a new one that they're just like reminding people, hey, this game's coming out soon. If you don't know,
have any interest in this game?
I did have interest in it before I knew stuff about it, because initially a lot of people thought it was more of a survival horror game, and now everyone kind of knows it's some weird ghost oriented just like hand movement combat game, which is kind of interesting. I'm not quite sure if I like that or not. But
it's really hard to gauge the gameplay from these trailers. Like, guys, I get the hand stuff, but I don't know. I can't get a feel for how the movement's going to be.
It almost looks like it's on rails. It looks like it's almost like on rails.
It seems too smooth. And a lot of times when you have these overproduced kind of trailers, that's just a look you get, because sometimes they're pre-manufactured in the engine, or they're trying to do very slow movements to really kind of set up a certain look for a moment in the game. So it's hard to read it. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it has a natural gameplay feel to it, at least from what I can tell from the trailers. It's just all about these visuals, which it looks, wild.
If you can't tell, I'm not playing it full through because copyright. So I'm trying to be as choppy as I can.
Just rotate the image like 88 degrees, and then flip it mirrored and turn it blue.
No,
I don't know.
I'm fine. As long as audio's the more problem. As long as you have your audio down, generally you're fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
But not that I'm freaking making any money off of it. It's not, if I got claimed, it wouldn't be a problem. But I guess kind of something really cool about this game is if you don't know, this is actually the last game made by Bethesda before their deal happened with Microsoft. So technically, this is a Microsoft published game that's exclusive on the PlayStation. And now this is the last one, though. Because before it was what is that other game? Deathloop, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably do that same thing where it'll be like exclusive for like a year. I think that's what Deathloop was saying. They'll be exclusive for a year, then it'll pop up on Game Pass. So that's good to know. I think I knew that at some point. I had forgotten about it, so that'd be cool. I might wait then to play it on Game Pass unless I hear something incredible about it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll come to Xbox, because I think literally the last deal that got signed, was Deathloop in this game. An interesting thing is the lady that was behind this game was really popular. She was that kind of meme lady with the dancing.
She's
at
the one who just started her new studio,
she just
right?
left the studio and just went and started her own, which is kind of interesting, because now it's like, so what's up with this studio now? Whoever made this game, I don't know. But yeah, she was kind of the internet's favorite for a bit. Yeah,
people liked her a lot. I mean, I'll tell you, this game, it looks cool. I like the style. I mean, I'm big on Japanese aesthetic kind of stuff. So, I mean, I'm not disinterested in this game. It's just one of those games I can't get a feel for yet. I'm gonna have to be hands-on with this or see some real good gameplay reviews. That'd be a good idea.
Skipped.
You jumped to some Final Fantasy, I think.
I know. So yeah, we'll skip ahead since I already kind of let the cat out of the bag there. Why would you want to put the cat in the bag? I don't know.
Ooh, we're going a different direction, Chaz. Let's stick to the video games.
I just thought about that. Why would you put the cat in the bag?
Shh.
You put your cat in a bag. I'm sure you would.
Oh, don't know. All right, so Final Fantasy.
All right, so yeah, what game is this?
Isn't it Final Fantasy?
Let's let it play through. I don't know. I think this is the Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, what's it?
It's like Origin. Oh, here it is.
Stranger of Paradise. That's right.
Yeah, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. From what
this was the Chaos thing, wasn't it?
I thought I heard something that this is a remake of the first game. Am I wrong?
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's what I heard.
Final Fantasy Origin name sounds alluding to that, but I don't know. That could just be a spin-off, like Origin of, I don't know, particular.
Maybe it has something to do with the first game. That's what I heard, is that it has something to do with the first game of some sort or something.
I don't know.
Ultimately, I'm not particularly interested. It's very like, it's just Final Fantasy has its own little thing. It's like kind of medieval mixed with like modern things and crazy dialogue. I don't know. I'm not particularly attached to Final Fantasies. I mean,
have you ever played through any of the Final Fantasies? Like from end to end? I know you got stuck on Sephiroth in 7.
I've played 7 and got to Sephiroth and couldn't beat him because I think I was under-leveled. I've played, which one was the MMORPG?
14.
14, really liked that
14
one.
Was great. Yeah.
I played the newest one. What was it? 15?
15.
Was the one with the cup noodle, whichever one that was. And that's about all I've played. I have a lot of them. I just support my channel, and maybe someday you'll get to see me play all these. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a weird relationship with Final Fantasy games. I usually enjoy most of them, but I very rarely am inclined to I really want to play this Final Fantasy game. I just somehow end up starting it for whatever reason, like starting a random Final Fantasy game, and once I've played a couple of hours, then I'm sucked into it.
I really like the older ones. I actually like the turn-based ones. I don't have time to start one,
You would actually because I actually played through 7 like this when I did my
I love 7. I can play the old version of 7 any day.
You should get the Switch version. It has a couple of cool little features to it where you can play the game. I think it's like double speed if you want. You can also, if you ever get under leveled, you can force infinite mana, like a few other things, MP boost. It basically is like a cheat mode kind of thing built into the game. So if you're just playing it for the story, it does make the game kind of trivial, but let's kind of work through it without the hassle of having to grind and do stuff like that. I mean, you already said you played the game normally, so I definitely recommend that your first playthrough. But if you ever just want to revisit it, or if you're worried about getting stuck on Sephiroth again, you could just play the game normally up to that point. And if it kind of kicks your butt, you just boost on the extra upgrades, and you can just plow right through them.
I've kind of been wanting to play the remake at some point. I think I'm going to play that. It's really on PC now,
a lot of people
isn't it?
Didn't.
It's on PC now, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I feel like I remember rumblings of that.
I'd much rather
I feel
play
like I remember that, and the performance wasn't good.
Really? Oh.
I'd have to check. I could be. I don't want to speak out of place there, but.
All right, but yeah, once again, I don't particularly have much interest in Stranger of Paradise. I mean,
it'll be one of those things that I won't play until I do, and then I'll be sucked into it. So.
There's actually, that has nothing to do with Final Fantasy, but I've been really wanting to play Octopath. I have it on my shelf, and one of these days I'm going to start that game. Looks cool.
Yeah, I like the 2D retro aesthetic they're going for right now.
Alright, so yeah, let's move on. Let's see what else is next. So, Stranger's Paradise. Oh, so we got an update on Force. This one I'm very curious to ask. Are you excited for this game at all? This is the one that got delayed. They just announced last week.
I am not. I mean, I remember the initial trailer, and then I kind of missed the whole Discord where they're did they put out a second trailer that looked really bad or something? I remember it got really kind of dinged for a while in the community for a bit.
Just within this last few weeks, I think they said
it more gameplay or something that
they said that it wasn't performing well because they actually let people get hands on, and apparently the impression from the hands on people was not great. I think performance was not very
nothing
good.
about it's like hopping out at me. Like it might be cool. It's one of those things that for me it's a very much wait and see. So I am not disappointed by the delay necessarily. When it comes out, I'll watch some reviews and decide if it's for me or not. Like I don't know. It kind of looks like I don't know what it kind of looks like. A little bit of Final Fantasy 15. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play it. Maybe I'll like it. We'll see.
Yeah, I know it's got some weird like modern thing going on. Like all this looks old, but then like she lives in like modern times or something. I don't know what the heck's going on with it. But yeah, me personally, I'm not particularly excited for. I mean, I don't have a PS5 right now, so how can I be excited for it? But yeah, it's.
Is it PS5 exclusive or is it PS4 too?
Let's see.
I feel like most of their stuff is cross-platform right now. I shouldn't say cross-platform, cross-gen.
Let's see what it says here. Un momento. Gave you nothing.
He will rise.
Rise, chicken, rise.
All right, sports spoken. Okay.
But yeah, like I said, that game actually just recently got delayed. So now, don't expect that one until December. Or no, October. Why did I say December?
Yeah. Yeah, not really on my radar.
Let's see. So next is
it said just PS5. I saw the
oh,
tag
did it?
on it.
Did I miss?
Yeah, right there. PS5 exclusive. Yeah.
Interesting. So next, yeah, there is this weird Gundam Overwatch-looking game, Gundam Evolution, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Like Gundam Heroes kind of shooter. I've never been huge into Gundam. I watched what was it on Toonami? What was it with like the little like
Gundam Wing
chibi looking?
No.
The way they were really
Gundam Wing was like
they're really tiny.
I didn't watch the whatever one you're talking about.
Oh, what was it? There's like a little Gundam thing where they're like almost like chibi Gundams. Man, I don't remember. I remember Gundam Wing. I didn't get big into it, but there was another one.
I loved Gundam Wing, but I couldn't get into a lot of other Gundam-based stuff.
I gotta look up that Gundam chibi thing now. It's gonna drive me crazy. You can keep going. I'm sorry.
No, I mean basically it just looks like an Overwatch clone, just with Gundam-based stuff. Which, I don't know. I mean, I guess this would be more of a budget title. Like if it's $30-$40, like you were talking about earlier, this would be something I might want to play. But if it's
Superior Defender Gundam Force, that's the chibi Gundam.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm sure there's a fan out there who just heard that. I was like, oh yeah, Superior Gundam Force. Whoa.
I don't remember, and I was a gigantic Toonami nerd back then.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was definitely on Toonami. SD Gundam was what they called it.
SD Gundam. I don't remember that.
You should look up the picture. Some boys.
Gundam Wing was the only thing I watched. So yeah, I'm not the best. I'm not the most reliable Gundam connoisseur.
Well, that's fair. Nor am I. I mean, this game looks all right. I'm sure if you're a Gundam fan, your interest is going to be piqued a little more than mine. It's going to come down to how well it plays. So I think until we get a chance to get hands-on with it, I don't know. Those hero shooters, I usually have a pretty short lifespan with. Like, I play them for a while, and then if there's not a class that really kind of speaks to me, I really kind of fall out of it. But this isn't really like a class-based shooter. It's a hero-based, so I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. This one I think is PS4 and PS5, though.
Where's it at? Right here? Nope. I don't know. Either way, I'm not particularly interested. I'm sure this is something like it's a very niche audience where I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that get into it. I think this seems like something our buddy Danny would like.
Maybe. I don't know if he's real big in a Gundam, but either way.
So let's move on to maybe mine or your second favorite thing that happened here. Let's see. What is it? It's going to be very pixelated. Whoa. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Cowabunga Collection. So
this is what I was saying. This is, from what I understand, not a full price release. It's only $40. So that's kind of awesome. And they're going to have physical releases. And what wasn't real clear, I think, from this, I mean, they were definitely trying to put, a PlayStation spin on it, but to my understanding, this is coming to Xbox, coming to Switch, it's coming to everything.
I was so happy.
I think you have it up in another tab. They probably give the information.
Right up here.
Yeah, I think I got that information from Spawn Wave. So if I'm wrong, wait, go back up. I think I saw it. Scroll. up right above that picture right there. Keep going. All right.
Yeah, there it is.
PlayStation 5, 4, X, 1, so everything.
Sweet.
Physical retail. Yep, $39.99.
We're definitely buying that and playing Turtles in Time.
Scroll down to the game list. So here's what I'm actually really excited about. Because when I heard this at first, I heard him say, okay, Turtles in Time, which is great. And then I heard him say specifically the arcade version, which I know for a lot of people that's their favorite. That is not my favorite. Mine is by far the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So what I found really cool is this has both versions on it.
Oh, that's cool.
So you have Turtles in Time the arcade and Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo. And for me, there's be a real good argument for me to say that Turtles in Time is my favorite Super Nintendo game. Like I played that so much when I was a kid.
Yeah, I know.
I went back between that and then like when I had my N64, it was like that and Star Fox, back and forth, back and forth. So I am super excited about this. Did you ever play the I think it was a 360 arcade title? They did a remake of Turtles in Time, but it was like 3D.
I don't remember. I know the one you're talking about. I just don't remember if I ever got to play it.
Yeah, I remember playing that. I mean, it was okay. It was definitely missing some stuff. That one was modeled after the arcade version. But yeah, all I was thinking was, man, I wish they had just, straight up Turtles in Time with online multiplayer, and that sounds like exactly what
I'll be happy to play a lot of these. I think the only ones I've played was Turtles in Time, SNES, and I think I might have played... Which other one do I think? I think Hyperstone Heist sounds familiar.
Heist was for the Genesis. Yeah, that one's very much like Turtles in Time. It was basically like they were released at the same time. If you had Super Nintendo, you got Turtles in Time. If you had Genesis, you got Hyperstone Heist. There's a lot of similarities there.
I haven't played a lot of these, so I'll be happy to go back and at least try them out, Yeah,
I can hear the sewer surfing theme in my head right now from Turtles in Time. Just, whew, good stuff.
Yeah, so that seems exciting. I mean...
Question, what platform are you going to get it on?
Probably Switch. Switch. Yeah.
I will probably get it. You know what? I'm probably going to get on a couple of them because I would imagine for our friend group, PC is probably going to be the easiest for everybody to play on. So that might be a go-to, and then I'll pick up a physical copy maybe on, I don't know.
I would be curious. Are these built from the ground up or are these ports? I would assume they're ports, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't think they recoded any of these games or anything.
Fantastic
They've got to be ported
set of
over.
quality of life, including save time and rewind, button mapping, online play for certain games.
Yeah, not all games have online. I'm pretty sure Turtles in Time has online, and then like Hyperstone Heist, I think only has couch co-op. But I'll take what I can get in this case.
The titles with online functionality: TMNT Arcade, Turtles in Time Arcade. Oh, so Turtles in Time SNES does not have online functionality.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed about that, but I'll take what I can get.
So if we're gonna play Turtles in Time, it's only the arcade version.
Which all it is, there's like 2 extra levels or something like in the Super Nintendo version. A lot of people like the arcade version better, so I'd not a non-selling point or anything for me. I'm still super excited. So love Turtles, man.
Alrighty, well, yeah. I mean, I figured that would be number 2, probably the most exciting thing we saw there. So let's see when we get to the numero uno. This is that Giga something. It's like a...
Oh, yeah, it looks like the Godzilla War of the Monsters kind of thing. This looks cool. This
is one of the few ones I saw that I was actually like, I could kind of see me playing that for a little bit.
I'm a little sad it's not like a licensed Godzilla movie. Like I feel like that's a little bit of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, they're kind of just knock off kaiju.
Yeah, so I'm sure that's gonna knock it down a notch or two, but it looks pretty cool.
I agree.
I'm curious if that is only gonna be PS4, PS5 though, or if that's gonna branch out to other systems. Because I don't know if I'm gonna jump on getting that on PS4, PS5. I want to get it on where all you guys have it on.
So then we'll move on. Let's see. Next one is this JoJo game, or whatever. It's just a fighting game, just in the style of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Which this isn't something I have a heck of a whole lot of understanding about. I tried watching the show and couldn't get into it. I think I watched the first season.
I'm about the same. I'm not really well versed in JoJo. Like, it's a interesting show, to say the least.
It's something our buddy Danny would know a lot more about. I'm not a JoJo connoisseur.
I'm not a big fighting game guy. Not like when I was younger I used to, but it just takes a lot of time to really learn those styles of games. But for those who are big into JoJo, for what I can tell, they're digging what they see on this game. So good for them. I'm glad they're getting something they're looking forward to. Apparently, it's a remake. Like this was a game that came out a few years ago.
Oh.
Like that's what the R edition is to the name. It's like whatever the name of the game is, R edition. So it's a new re-release of a prior game.
Oh, that's
May not
interesting.
remake, but.
And let's see what else we got here. We got. Oh, this is that weird. Black and white. What is this? Oh, it's Trek to Yomi, I think.
It's just a Samurai Limbo.
That's what I. Oh, dude, you took my note right from my. I don't know if that's what I said. It was like.
I haven't even seen your notes.
That's what I said. It was like Samurai Limbo, basically. But yeah, I guess it's basically Ghost of Tsushima Limbo, maybe.
Yeah.
It looks very. What's those movies called? Oh, I forget the.
What's his name?
Yeah, it's that director's name that made a lot of those type of movies.
Yeah, I won't try to misquote him.
Me neither.
I mean, I always like games of this aesthetic. If it is anything like Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm not really sure if it's gonna be. I loved Ghost of Tsushima.
It has some mystical elements. Like there's this guy with missing a nose. It has some very mystical aspects of it, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah, this could be cool. Once again, it's one of those games just gotta see a little more of.
Like there's a ghost or something? I don't know what the heck. Yeah, but basically Limbo Samurai. I guess we'll just move on. I don't know much about that one. Looks fairly interesting. Oh, here's your big one.
Oh yes.
Dun, dun, dun. So, oh yes. What's this game called again? I told you, my brain is starting to collapse.
Really, man? Really?
Oh, Returnal. It's Returnal DLC. So, you have to do your best to help me find a PlayStation 5 so we can play this together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think there's a way I can describe this to you without you playing it. Because I think it's a game you would like. Man, I love this game so much. Like, I was very surprised how much I liked it. Last year was my game of the year, hands down.
Now, the thing I didn't... Oh, sorry, good.
No.
I didn't understand. Does this mean that... Is it just this expansion that's going to be campaign co-op, or is the entire game going to be...
No, so for what I understand, the whole base game is campaign co-op now.
Oh,
or they're going to add
cool.
that in the update. And then this new feature is just like kind of like an endless tower thing. So it's kind of just like, bragging rights, get as high as you can kind of deal. It's got a little bit of narrative built in there.
Test your might.
Yeah, all of it's free, which is really cool too.
Oh,
it's not a paid DLC. It's just an update they're going to release on the 22nd. You just have at it. So which is awesome.
Daily challenges are not available in co-op.
Yeah, that's just a feature of the game. You can do challenges after you get to a certain point.
Tower of Sisyphus.
Which I think is a cool thing, because, I mean, this is one of those games I know people, I think, really got dissuaded with, because it's not an easy game. It's not the hardest. I think some people gave up probably a little too early on it, but it's not like Hades where, like, you have a progression.
It's not like
even if you
Elden
only go,
Ring.
like... Well, no. I mean, this is a roguelike. If you're going to compare it to anything, Hades would probably be one of the closer titles. But whereas Hades rewards you, like, if you take 10 steps into a Hades run, you get something from it, basically. This game doesn't work quite that same way. To get that progression, you've got to get a little further, and you got to get good a little bit. Now, once the progression starts hitting, the game, gets a little more reasonable to work through. But it's tough, and I know that turned off a lot of people. So I think the co-op is a cool way to address that. Like, I'm glad they didn't just, slop a easy mode down, because I think that would have definitely neutered the game some. But a co-op mode that you can kind of work together with to get through some of those tough moments, I think would be a fun way to do it. I mean, the gameplay just this game is so solid. So, yeah, you need a PS5, man, if nothing else, to play this game.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely a game I want to play with you at some point. So I'll have to put in some more effort to find a PS5. I'm always so busy at work, and it's hard during the day for me to like.
Oh, it's tough getting a PS5, man. I mean, the way I got mine, man, I was scouring different YouTube streamers that were telling you every time a drop was about to happen. I had like 10 tabs open. It was a nightmare, but I got them.
No. So yeah, we'll well, shoot, we're going on kind of long here. So yeah, let's kind of push it forward because I think we actually just touched on all the major stuff we cared about, really. Next up, we have this. This is the tactics game.
The one that kind of looks like Fire Emblem-ish.
Yeah, kind of. I know a lot of people thought it was a remake of Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, it's like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying a lot of people were like, "Oh, this looks like Final Fantasy," but it's that Dia from something.
Yeah, I feel like Square Enix is just teasing people right now because like between putting stuff out like, did they put out Octopath? That was Square Enix, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and so they're doing that triangle strategy game.
Yeah, between Octopath and Triangle Strategy and this, not that they're all strategy games, like, I know this one or the past one was, but it's like they are just like teasing that Final Fantasy Tactics crowd that wants that remake. I'm curious if they'll actually end up doing it. Maybe they're building up to it, or maybe this is just kind of their new reiteration of it, but I feel like if they're going to be kind of bringing on this renaissance of, strategy games, why not capitalize on the Final Fantasy Tactics kind of, homage that you already have? So I feel like that's coming at some point. Maybe
I've never played a tactics game, or I feel like I've tried a tactics game back on the PS1, and I just couldn't get into it. It might have literally been Final Fantasy Tactics for all I remember. But
I enjoyed Tactics. It was a long time ago. They had a Game Boy one too. It was like Final Fantasy Tactics. Was this Tactics Advance?
Actually, I did try another one on the PSP. I don't remember which one it was.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about. Oh, it's like Lions something.
I don't remember. It's just not my bag.
Yeah, I mean they're slow. I gotta be in the mood for them. I don't play them nearly as much as I used to, but given the right mood, like time frame and like mood I'm in, I enjoy a good tactics game.
Yeah. And I guess we'll move. I think this is already the last one. This is that Valkyrie something.
Oh, yeah.
From what I understand, this is actually like a franchise. It's like the second or third title in this series.
Yeah, was it a Valkyrie? Was it Profile back on was the PS1?
Yeah, so this is like the second or third one.
Yeah, they've had like Valkyrie Chronicles, I think, and something else. Yeah, I think I have one of them. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think it's Valkyrie. Sorry, I'm trying to look at my game shelf. I think it's Chronicles. I don't think I've ever played it though. And
it looks like a pretty. I mean, I don't say standard, but an action RPG.
Yeah, I don't have nostalgia kind of fanfare for this game, so I can't really speak to how good it plays.
I don't know. Kind of reminds me of like Devil May Cry or something.
Yeah, not quite as crazy as something like that, but
you still haven't played the newest Devil May Cry, have you?
I haven't played the past few Devil May Cry, man.
The new Devil May Cry is really good. It was like one of my favorite games that it came out that year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll give it a shot.
I love that game.
I have so many games on my list, man. It's just not on my like top radar.
That was actually my first. I don't know if you know, but that was my first Devil May Cry game.
Really?
Yeah, and I actually loved it. It makes me really want to go back and play some of the original ones because I have all of them.
I played the first one, never beat it. I think the one I beat was 2, maybe 3. But I haven't played anything past that. Like all the other ones I bought when I get them on sale, but I've never actually taken the time to play any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So out of date. Sorry.
No, I loved it though. That's definitely one you should try out at some point.
Okay.
That was really fun.
Take your word for it.
Yeah,
I think that overall was a decent show. I mean, nothing in there like seemed like a bad game. I can understand how they weren't like the most hyped up games in the world, but there was some fun nuggets in there. Like, I think most people are gonna really be big on the Cowabunga collection. Like, yeah. That's just such a great deal. Like, I'm sure there are some people who don't have the nostalgia for those games, but here's the thing: those games aged really well. Well, most of them did.
Go figure. Go figure. The biggest things that came out of it were the new things. Cowabunga Collection and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Those were the two biggest things I saw people excited for, and that's because they were new releases. Not previous announced things. So yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all fair. I'm a little surprised. Maybe surprised is the wrong word, because I think it's the kind of par for the course of this game now. But like, I'm super excited about the Returnal thing, but I haven't seen a whole lot of buzz about that.
No, not really. It's such a niche title, I think.
Yeah, I think it's kind of in that camp, at least for me, like when the game of the year conversations were coming around, like people were like, well, it's a really good game, but I don't know this and that. It kind of fell into like such a niche, like almost like what was it? Horizon did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Horizon was this great game for the genre. And I think in a similar vein, Returnal was like this excellent game for this genre, but it was one of those games that had a barrier. And I think a lot of people just turned off by that barrier. I think it didn't help too that nobody had a freaking PS5, so there was no way to play the game. Um, so I think that hurt it some. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
can't recommend that game enough. If you're cool with like the alien-like aesthetic and you like a game that's challenging, Returnal's where it's at, man. So yeah, I'll stop guessing. I'm sorry. I just like that game so
You're good.
much.
But yeah, I guess overall for me, I thought the state of play was fine. It was a fine little showing. I I don't really go into these things with much expectations anymore. Simply, I think it makes it more entertaining when you kind
Mhm.
of just go in and don't really expect a heck of a whole lot. Um, yeah, is that kind of how you approach some of these events now?
Yeah, I mean, my whole structure on how I even like review these events is different. Like, I'm not dying to like watch them when they're live or anything. Because here's the thing: they're not like live events anymore. They're all pre-recorded
Mm-hmm.
advertisements. So they basically all they did was drop like what 10 trailers. So
Yeah.
usually what I do is I let it just kind of drop whenever, and then I'll go on to one of the news outlets and kind of see what the overview was, what the big titles were, and then start picking through the trailers as I see fit. So
Mm.
they definitely don't feel like the events they used to. Maybe I've just kind of become, adjusted to this format, and some people maybe are still looking at these big hype events, but they're just not that anymore, man. I'm very curious to see how the summer is going to play out because EA is gone. Not EA. Oh, I mean, I wish EA was gone. I'm sorry. E3. E3 is just like gone. Um, like I don't think they officially canceled it, but they haven't said like anything about it. And we're like a couple of months out from when it would actually happen. So
They
you're
haven't even
missing.
said that E3. Or sorry, I don't know if you just said that. I just lost track. I was just gonna say they haven't even announced if E3 is even gonna happen this year.
All that it was they. I think they originally did. I think they canceled a potential chance for a live E3. They officially did that a few months ago,
Oh
and there was
yeah,
a whole bunch
yeah.
of controversy
So now
over.
it's a
Oh, they
digital
were going to
only.
do that anyway, but they never even said if they were going to do a digital one. They just haven't said anything. So I think they're letting this thing just die out, which is kind of sad to be honest. Like I know people are like, well, E3 doesn't matter anymore, but yeah, there was something nice about getting all these publishers together and letting all these developers kind of interact and do like backdoor dealings and stuff like that to get
Mm,
new agreements done. Like, and there was an energy to it. Like, yeah, it wasn't the same as it had been 15 years ago, but I don't necessarily think it should just go away. So I'm a little sad that E3 may not happen, and we're kind of now relegated to these tiny little events. Because I don't know, gaming is sometimes a spectacle, and the
mm.
fact that we don't have those spectacle events is kind of sad. I guess you have GamesCon coming up, and whatever Jeff Keighley does, which whatever. So I don't know.
Ugh, don't get me started on game awards. Every time I watch them, they go on for 4 hours or something, and I'm like, dude, this is too. It's so bloated.